fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Lining up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
On tonight's show, we're doing just about anything and everything. Am I the a-hole, real or nah? And I actually got two scary stories. This is Saturday Night Vibe. Hey, look at there. I'm on this time at the beginning. Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the progressive news show with Let's Be S3. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with Tracy Carson and Anna Hart. And today's show, simply because I don't know how to read a calendar, we're just going to be looking through everything because I was supposed to do Black History Month, but I forgot we had one last weekend left before. So
we could have been prepping for our studies.
Black history is every day. I don't know what you
right?
Every single day is Black history.
I love to get into history anytime.
Except for you live in Florida. Because apparently
just in case, I'm gonna let y'all know before I even bring up a subject for the show starting next weekend, I'll give y'all a full week in advance who we're talking about.
Oh.
So it's gonna be really deep and philosophical and everything else. And I'm gonna be talking to y'all as I'm watching wrestling. So if it looks like that I'm looking at something else, it's probably because I am. Because I have no shame. None at all. None.
Okay.
But as always, be sure to subscribe. Please hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't always. If you catch us after the live show, leave a comment, which has been really good lately, and also proving that I can't take 2-3 weeks off because my number rocks when I come back. Hello, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Hi, sweetie.
Hey, Susan. Hello,
hello.
Hey, Susan.
Hello, Susan. Well, without further ado,
what was her mafia name? Dang it. Susan, what's your name?
Hitman Mafia?
Sniper? No.
I forgot all about that until you just said it.
Susan, you remind us of
what was the name? I can't remember. Hitman or Sniper or something like that, or Dangerous Woman. I don't know. Let's get this party started. You know what? I was pretty darn close. I knew it was something. Assassin Mafia. I knew it was Hitman, Sniper, Potato.
We were close.
We was close.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, we knew somebody wasn't walking out alive. So we were close to what we was talking about. Y'all get the gist of it.
Two go in, one comes out.
Our first story of the night. I was trying to clean out my file of stories that I wanted to do, and I come to the realization that we have saw so many heinous individuals that now that I go back and listen to some of the stories, I go, yeah, you're bad, but we done got so far down the rabbit hole of some heinous individuals. It's like you're not even on the threshold anymore. So, and of course, I was correct, and apparently everybody else must be thinking the same thing because once again, this is not an old video. This is a new one of yet another heinous individual.
Money. Uh-oh. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I don't know what to do. And the problem is, I can't discuss this with anyone I'm close to for privacy reasons. I've been with my wife, Andrea, who's 48, and my stepdaughter, Cassie, who's 17 for 8 years now. I love them both to death, and Cassie is a very brilliant young woman. Recognizing her potential, me and Andrea decided to put together a college fund for Cassie so that she wouldn't be crushed by debts. Over the years, it's amassed to $200,000. Cassie's aware of this, and she's banking on it since she's trying to get into Ivy League. To make a long story short, last week I found out that almost $170,000 of the money was missing from the account. I freaked the F out and asked Andrea if she knew anything about it. She teared up and said that she had been spending the money over the years to fund her spending habits. She described herself as a shopping addict, and the money from Cassie's account was just too tempting not to use. She didn't make excuses, but offered no solutions. As stated before, I was beyond furious. She ruined Cassie's chances at going to college debt-free and has changed the trajectory of her whole life. I asked her to stay with her sister while I tried to figure this out. Cassie was concerned about why her mother was leaving, but we just said that we needed a little bit of space. I asked Andrea to come back home yesterday, and we had an extremely long discussion about how to handle this. She stopped me from talking and asked a favor of me. She asked if I could take the fall for her. For context, her and Cassie don't get along for a variety of reasons, and knowing how independent Cassie is, she might leave her mother's life. In fact, me and Cassie get along very well, and she comes to me for a lot of her issues. Andrea fears this will permanently drive Cassie away, and she doesn't want to lose her. I told Andrea that before we even talk about that, she needs to acknowledge her mistake and own it. She needs to go to individual therapy. We need couples counseling. She needs to find a shopaholic support group, and also, I'd be controlling the finances from now on. She said those terms were steep, but fair. I said that she had to tell Cassie what she did, apologize, and hope for the best. She refused and said that she could never lose Cassie. She said that I could survive the mistake, but she couldn't. I told her that to even consider me taking the fall, she needs to agree to my terms. I don't know what the hell to do. The last thing I want to do is lie to Cassie, but I don't want Andrea and Cassie to split up forever. And the worst part about this whole thing is that Cassie's life is ruined either way. And I don't know how to replenish the money other than maybe borrowing from my 401k. Reddit, do you have any suggestions? Divorce is always an option, but I love Andrea despite her mistakes, and me dating at age 52 is next to impossible.
Well, you find them, don't you? I mean, the cream of the crop here.
Every time I keep thinking, boy, nobody can dig deeper. $170,000.
She wants him to take the fall for her?
There is a part 2 to it, which I don't think I'm going to play it because it doesn't fill in a lot of gaps. It doesn't give you, but basically the part 2 is they sat down. Okay, there is something that's kind of strange to me. It kind of threw me off. It really kind of threw me off. So the daughter is actually the dad's stepdaughter.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter is actually the mom's biological daughter. Do you understand in a certain formality to me how bad you have to be where you're closer to the step parent than the biological parent. And I have to even make it throw it even a little further. The biological mother. You're closer to the stepfather than your own biological mother.
I've seen it.
I've seen it too.
Hmm.
So basically, they did sit the daughter down and explain everything to her. The daughter flat out just said, "You know what? That's it. I don't want nothing to ever do with you again." Talking to the mother. I don't want no money from you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want anything to do with you forever. She's done.
I
She's
stand.
she's somewhat, and I have to add this to the story because it speaks volumes. She somewhat got mad at the stepfather because the stepfather did say that at one point the mother asked him to take the fall, and she got mad at him going, well, she got mad at him because the stepdad said, I was thinking about it for a while. And she got mad at him saying, I wouldn't have believed it if you said it anyway. I
Hmm.
wouldn't believe the word that would have came out of your mouth if that was the issue. And I would have been mad at you for taking the fall from her. So the mom's gone. She's gone indefinitely over to the mom's house. She's calling every once in a blue moon, leaving voicemail messages. I'll do anything. I'll do whatever you want. I'll do blah, blah, blah. I'll give the money back. I'll clean up the house. I'll have sex with you. I have no idea where that one came from. Like, oh my God, lady, you need help. Now,
Wait.
yeah,
But that's
I
her husband. Wouldn't she? Never
I
mind.
know. She was the one that threw it in there. That's why I looked at like, okay,
Oh,
you're
oh, okay. Okay.
I thought you meant
with
the
the husband
stepdaughter. I'm
now.
like,
With
dang,
the
girl,
Me
that's not.
too.
I was like, girl, you ain't got to get revenge like that. It ain't
with,
that deep,
with
girl.
the
No.
husband, Anna, with the husband.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
so, so
Getting facts straight is very important.
words are very important. Oh God, this is wow. It's
But parents do this. They have all the good intentions in the world of saving up for their child's college fund. It's not $200,000, grant you, but it's a nice chunky change, and they dip in it and dip in it and dip in it, and then it's gone.
Even if it's 10,000, 20,000,
2,000, 5,000.
two. Yep.
but and that would be understandable if you could literally tell me, look, we are behind on the mortgage.
Yeah, it's like, well, we
I
don't.
lost my job and everything. You can't explain to me because another part of the story was yes, she literally spent money on
Child.
Louis Vuitton,
Oh, will
on
she be selling that stuff, girl?
buying buying a Mercedes because her friends was picking on her Lexus.
Uh.
They gonna buy the car for her?
No. So the deal was because one of the questions I had that he did address was everybody kept saying, dude, did you not see the stuff she was getting?
Yeah, did he see it?
Because at one point the conversation was, dude, where is the stuff? Like if
Right.
you're not seeing something, she
Where
ain't
is she parking this car?
In a storage bin.
okay. So this is what the story was. The story the husband was saying was she has a good job. So when she was getting these things, it was like she was getting these things because they were on sale and things like that, and she was buying it. So he wasn't paying close attention to. And he said he admit he thought when she got the Mercedes, she thought that was leased. No, she bought The
But
Mercedes.
he didn't think, gee, let me look in this college balance so I can see how much is in there. Like, you know how they mail these little things called bank statements? And you know they sometimes you can get them either online or
Or
you can get,
online banking. Yep.
yeah,
You
Yep.
would
you can get them
never,
online and then be like, why is it money missing?
because here's the deal.
He's
It,
stupid.
it's sad. It's sad for me to say this. It's sad for me to say this. But here's the deal on a lot of that stuff.
You're watching.
We never think your significant other would do it. We're not talking about, oh my God, why did you take $50 out of my account? We're literally saying you took $170 that was
$1,000.
allotted,
Thousand.
$170,000 that was allotted for your biological daughter to go to college so she can have a clean, fresh start when she graduates.
No,
So,
she's gonna have a
no, you
1 year
would
start.
never think that she would go in and do that.
See, but this, and I don't like to blame the victim, but he, like I said, sir, there are bank statements. You check them, and you go over them. If you're saving money for something like that, you go over them each and every month. You sit down, maybe not with the daughter because she's 17. You're like, okay, where did this money go? I mean, there's trust, and then there's stupidity. And he know good and well he was stupid. Now her, yeah, she needs therapy and all that, blah blah blah. But he need to
Yeah.
drop her. He need to drop her because she, obviously, she's about herself. I
Oh
mean,
no, that marriage is over with. There's no
I
doubt
mean,
about
she couldn't even, like, she knew she had a shopping problem. She couldn't think, gee, I better go get some help.
it. But Tracy, let me ask you this question because they said that she needs to go to therapy and for a shopaholic and everything else. But but there was something that was said in the video where she was like, she's being picked on by her friends, or she's trying to keep up with the Joneses and everything. So is that being a shopaholic, or that's just being like, I
She's
don't want to
using
look like I can't afford what everybody else can afford?
what you just said. She wants to look a certain way, put on what we call back in the day, put on airs.
You know, we still
And
say it now. Putting on
um
airs.
um girl, bye. Your friends made fun of you. Get yourself some new friends. I don't know how hard this is. People, you can find friends. There's, I don't know, findafriend.com, findafriend.net. Go to church, go to the club. I don't know where. There's plenty of places to find friends that don't tease you about the car you have, especially when they're not buying you a new car themselves.
Well,
Your Lexus wasn't good enough. You know,
How
come
about
on.
this? You're not good enough for me. Bye.
I don't.
Mhm.
She wanted to look like she was Alexis Carrington and she had Roseanne the show's money. She did, I mean, it just didn't match up. She's trying to, like I said, she putting on airs.
I don't get it. But that marriage is over with.
Yeah, he need to divorce her real quick.
I wonder though if they've already been together for a certain amount of
8 years,
time.
that ain't a lot. Shoot.
Mm,
He 52, all you gotta do is get this. It's easier for men to date when they're older.
8 years is pretty freaking long.
this is a like
It's not
I
like it's 30 years. If it was 30, I'd be like, well, maybe. But 8, you can get you somebody new.
No, because he said that because he's 51. And I know and we all
52.
know 52 or something like that.
Yeah.
Early 50s. So yeah. Dude, that's wrong, by the way. And
You
whatever.
can start over at any
Any
age.
Yeah,
age.
and take my word for it. Even if you don't want to start over,
90s.
you can't still do this one. I could never trust you ever again.
And I think the daughter normally, this is where toxic relationships get in. Normally, I would say the daughter was wrong for just disowning her mother. And maybe she'll eventually forgive her. But that mother needed a wake up call. Like somebody to just say, you know what, I'm done.
I
You
think
stay
this
over
was.
there.
I think it was damaged way before this situation, and unfortunately, this right here was like the pinnacle. Like you couldn't get no worse than this. After all the stuff you did to me, well, I'm sick and tired of you anyway, and I got 1 foot out the door dealing with you, and then this one comes out like,
Now,
Like
girl,
you said, she likes her stepfather more than her
your
biological
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 mother.
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 Something wrong there.
God, dog. My partner had an episode recently. He's bipolar and just pulled off paying important bills, thinking we have the money, it would be okay. This was stuff on his account which I can't see. He didn't. Yikes.
This is why when you get in a relationship, you got to ask these questions. People be asking the
Mhm.
wrong question. Am I attracted to you? Yeah, attraction is important, but it ain't more important. Do you pay your bills on time? Do you pay? What's your credit score? What's your?
And look will change.
No, I want all of it. I don't even been married, happily married for a long time, but even at this point in time, Tracy, I'm agreeing with you. I want all of it. Yes, I want you to be good looking. That's just the way it is. I also want you to be able to pay your bills. I also want you to be
I'll weigh
able
more
to have
towards
good
you being
credit.
a responsible human being because
I want
I
you to
get.
be a responsible human being. I don't want you to be toxic in this relationship. I don't want you to be controlling in this relationship. I don't want you to be abusive in any kind of way, shape, or form, mentally, emotionally, physically, definitely. I want all of this. Call me picky. Sorry.
Hmm.
But I'm picky now.
I think if people started off picky, it'd be a whole bunch of relationships in terms of marriage and sleeping around that wouldn't have happened in the first place that produced children. But hey, that's just my opinion.
All right.
Yeah, I said it. What?
Yeah, I agree. All right, I was just gonna make this a regular video, but it fits, and I'll explain to you why. The title of it is She Called Out the Wrong Name.
Hugging. My wife and I have been married for 4 years, and we have a 2-year-old. We dated on and off for 3 years before getting married. Last night, she said her ex's name while we were passionately hugging. She gave some weird excuse as to why. She said it's a common name, and admittedly it is, and she must have heard it recently. I wasn't gonna start a big argument with her at the time, and it's since gotten me worried about why she did that. For some background, this was a guy she was with for a couple of years before I met her. They met in college and were serious for some time. They had broken up when I met her and decided they were better as friends. They were friends for years before they dated. We started dating, but he remained in the picture. He was her best friend first and foremost, and I begrudgingly went along with it for her. Several months passed, and I put my foot down saying it's too uncomfortable for me. There was some resistance, but she stepped back from him. Every time we broke up, she was with him. We finally reconciled and got engaged. He apparently didn't know this and stopped talking to her. She was devastated, which should have been a red flag. We talked about it, and she was happy to have chosen me. Now, after this happened, I'm tempted to see if she's gotten back in contact with him again. I know she's checked in on his social media because I saw the searches on the laptop. She doesn't know I know that. I don't think she'd cheat, but this guy was always different for her. Do I just confront her? Do I start going through her phone? Or am I being paranoid?
Ooh, the wrong name. Ooh,
This is
see,
gonna get worse, isn't
this
it?
is could go several different ways. Marla, I could say something on this, but are you serious?
I knew it.
Part 2.
Thank you everyone for your help and advice. I did my investigating before talking to her. I went through his social media first, but there was nothing explicitly saying anything was going on. There were a few mentions of his love in some comments, but that could mean anything. I did look at the phone bill, and there looks to be calls with him pretty regularly. Onto hers. I was able to get her phone when she was asleep. She must have forgotten I knew the code. There was nothing in the text and no weird calls, so she deleted them. I did find some apps that she tried to keep hidden, like Snapchat and Kik. Sure enough, there's their conversations. And pictures. She exploded when she had the conversation and left with our child to her mother's. I contacted a lawyer, and I'm in the process of a divorce and figuring out custody. I'm heartbroken, and I'm more angry than anything else. I'm angry at her, but I'm also angry at myself for dismissing so many red flags.
How does he know she cheated? Wait a minute. Does it get worse?
Nope, that was it. And she
Good.
got pictures, lots and lots of pictures.
Pictures don't mean nothing. Pictures don't mean anything. They're just pictures. Is she in the picture with him? Okay, that means something. But just pictures? That don't mean nothing.
Tracy, she's cheating.
She confronted him, right?
Yeah. She got mad and left. Yeah. Now,
When you see red flags, listen to yourself. There's a reason that these things feel the way they do.
Now, this is why I put it under Am I the A-hole?
Mama, stop being so hard on yourself.
This is why Tracy is the A-hole. No, this is why I put it under Am I the A-hole? Because, dude, you are the A-hole.
He sure is, dummy.
4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. Nobody calls out the wrong name.
Well,
And Tracy, you can wail all you want to.
It can-
Ain't nobody on the face of
maybe
the
they
planet.
was doing like she was doing like role playing or something, and
Hey.
it just kind of slipped
No,
up, and
I'm sorry.
Come on, Tracy, man. You just reaching now. Ain't nobody role play in the middle of it without telling the other person. Like all of a sudden, hey, I just feel like role playing all of a sudden. So
I
I'm gonna call out the
negotiated
role
this into our relationship without telling you.
without telling you that we're role playing. Now we're role playing. According to what I say we role playing, I thought I called out the wrong name. And dude, and this is what kills me. This is why I say you also the a-hole. And maybe because I've been in this game way too long. It's a common name. I don't give a fuck if it's your daddy's name. You called the wrong name.
Ugh, that would be disturbing.
That would.
That would be.
Y'all know what I mean. You called the wrong name. I don't care if it's Bob, Fred, Frank, Larry. Dude, look at your driver's license. Is that your name? I really do not think you needed. The second part was almost like,
Why?
why did you even go look for it? Dude, she's cheating. Like, if you just have to concretely make this, fine. She's cheating. She called the wrong name at the wrong time. Dude.
When you are getting to a point that you are going through your partner's phone, you gotta ask yourself, why am I here?
Basically.
Well, I can't even imagine if some dude did that. Be like, no, wait a minute, bruh. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, we'd be stopping right then and there.
We stopped it right in the bed. I'm walking out the door. There's nothing you can say. Seriously, think about
There's
it.
really nothing
There's
you
nothing
can
that's gonna
say.
come out your mouth. So why am I?
Oops. Like maybe that's his
What are you
mental.
doing? Why would you say that? But I'm not gonna hold a conversation with you. I'm out. I don't even want to know what your excuse is. Hey, talk y'all long. There's really nothing you can
Yeah.
say to me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nothing. Uh,
Your blood red flags.
That was a major.
Fire engine red. Sorry.
She still was friends with him. Well, that could happen. You could still be
That can
friends with.
happen, and I don't want people to start limiting who their partner can be friends with. There's more about you than it does the partner. But there should be limits. Calling out their names during passionately hugging, that should be one of the limits.
that that should be
Matter of
the only
fact,
one.
what you should do is don't passionately. If you still got feelings for that person, don't passionately hug me. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Mm-hmm.
Go away. Go to that
But
person. Leave me be. I can be by myself. I'm gonna be okay. You go with whomever, but don't. I don't know why people, especially cheaters, they get on my nerves with the. I had no choice but to cheat. Yeah, you could just leave the
Yes, you did.
relationship. You
I
you
had
could
a
just leave.
I had a story that bless my I don't want to play it because I in my mind I was raging on this woman who's like my mom cheated on my father and I was so mad at her until I realized the way my father was treating my mom and wouldn't do anything, wouldn't lift a finger in the house. And she even works 45 hours a week and then come home and cook and clean and blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't believe in cheating, but I understand. I'm looking at this like, no. Because whatever it is that the father is doing to your mom, it still ain't bad enough to leave.
Oh no, she should leave. She
Not
should
cheat.
leave instead of cheat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So whatever it is that you say, well, I understand why she cheated. Okay, you may be the only one because I still ain't found a reason why all that was enough for
They
cheating.
pushed me
You're
to
not getting
cheat.
that.
No, you cheated because you wanted to.
You cheated because you wanted
You
to cheat.
cheat when you are emotionally far from each other. You either want to get their attention again, or you
Which is
just
a
don't
bad
care
way to
because
get
you're
somebody's
that
attention.
Oh,
far.
you can get their attention. You ain't gonna like how you got their attention, but you got it.
Oh,
You got it.
I'm
I don't
just
know what
figuring.
I don't know what make people think cheating is gonna bring us closer together.
no, they're not thinking that. It's
Anna, you will be amazed how many people think insecurity will get me what I want. If I can make you insecure, if I make you think that I
Yeah.
can go out and get somebody else and then go and get somebody else to prove, aha, I'm not bluffing. If you don't spend $170,000 on a new Mercedes, I'm gonna. I'm just kidding.
And he should sue her for the money when he divorces her. Sue her for the money.
Just a side note, the parent. By the way, it was the grandparents who gave the money. They just started it. So when the grandparents found out, yes, his grandparents, the father's grandparents said, we're finna take her to court. And he even said, no, no, let me handle it. So after that point, no, he ain't gonna take her to court.
Now I'd have been like, son, shut up. I'm taking her to court.
mm-hmm.
Be honest with you, if it's my money, yes, son, you ain't got nothing to do with this. Look at
My
look at the
granddaughter's
father
gonna
who's
be
talking
getting.
about have time to cheat.
45 hours.
Oh,
She must have been getting
so
them.
well on the line, she found time.
45 hours a week. That I'll be
I
asleep. Oh,
found
So
somebody
well
at
on
work.
the line.
yeah,
She
she
found
could have been
Little,
cheating with somebody at work. That's a good point.
little break.
That's why you shouldn't
hey,
have work spouses. That's just I don't get that from you.
yeah, I don't like those.
That's my work husband. Nah,
There's a husband and there's a wife. There we
unless you work
cause
with your
cause have you
actual
noticed
spouse.
nobody ever say, oh, that's my home wife. Okay, so this office wife and office husband and all this work husband and work wife. Okay, you ain't never
Stop
went
it.
home and went, hi, husband, hi, house husband, hi, home husband. Hi, split the bills, husband. Don't do that, folks. Don't do that. It's not cute. Anyway, somebody explain this crap to me, and I will be a little happier.
I've been with my boyfriend for about 5 years. We live together. He doesn't want to get married, which I'm fine with now, but it was a point of contention early on in our relationship. My boyfriend was talking to a coworker on Zoom when I brought him some coffee. The coworker said something like, "So, this is the lovely wife I've heard so much about." I said something like, "Thanks, but we're not married." He said, "Oh, your boyfriend..."
Did I play this
That's
out?
it. Yeah,
We
you
did
played
this.
that last week. Yeah,
Oh,
you sure
good. I
did.
can erase this off the board. Don't worry about it. I got 50
Ain't
billion of these
trifling.
things.
Say that you were just joking. Ha ha ha. And she gonna be
No,
like a
no, 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 no. He wasn't. Oh, yeah. I told. Yeah, you're right. I did play it. Never mind. Good.
Yep.
I'm done with that then.
and she like a fool gonna be with him 5 years.
All right. Two scary stories that I heard. There's death in it, of course, because it's a scary story. But I did find it actually intriguing because I don't particularly listen to scary story because it's like, come on, man. Hey, it's like Friday the 13th. Oh, he chased him in the woods and caught up to him because he came from out of the blue. Yeah, okay, whatever. You know Friday the 13th when they're running for their lives at super speed and Jason is walking and somehow still catches
Mm,
up to him.
mm,
Like,
yeah.
I take scary stories like that. But I have to admit, these two stories were really, really good. Really good. So, scary story
Mhm.
number one.
Story 31. You get a phone call from your mother. Since her car has been in the shop, she asks you to go to the grocery store and pick up a few odds and ends for her: bread, milk, cereal, and chicken breasts. After writing down a small list, you reluctantly get in the car and pick up the items at the store. The lady cashier makes an odd remark to you. You know we're in no danger of a milk shortage. Upon arriving at her house, you knock several times. No answer. You decide to try the door. It opens. You place the grocery bag on the counter. Strange, there seems to be 6 other grocery bags, each with identical contents. In a couple, the chicken and milk has gone bad. Mom, you call out, but no answer. You make your way through the kitchen and into the living room. Sitting on the couch with her head cut off and neatly resting on her lap is your mother. Naturally, you call the police, who come over to investigate. They mention that she has been dead for nearly a week. Furthermore, the police psychiatrist is at the scene and talks to you after you give your initial statement. Sitting on the front steps, you overhear the psychiatrist talking with the crime scene investigator. It's not uncommon for people suffering from schizophrenia to get locked into a series of repetitive behaviors, he says. You think to yourself, they can't be talking about me. Schizophrenia? Nah. Repetitive behavior? Did they think I did this? Suddenly, your cell phone goes off. Hello? Hi, hun, it's me. Could you stop at the store and pick up some chicken and milk? Oh, and I need some bread and cereal, too. No problem, Mom. I'll be right over.
Huh? I told him the sheriff called. Yeah, I'm gonna be the stupid one. Huh?
He does have schizophrenia.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Nobody liked that one.
No, because I was sitting here like, wait a minute.
Oh, man, that was more of a. I'm not
Um,
gonna say Twilight Zone. It comes off more of the Outer Limits type um episode. Twilight Zone ain't that clever. Twilight Zone ain't to me. Twilight Zone ain't that clever. Twilight Zone got away
Did
with
he
it.
kill her or not kill her? I'm like,
Yes. He never mind. I had to explain the story. It was no good. So let's move on to the second story.
yeah,
And
because I'm like,
hope
huh?
the second story. Let me get through some comments. Oh, hey Parker.
Hi, Parker.
And I already saw who won the Men's Royal Rumble, so you'll have to tell me. I was guaranteed that I was going to watch that. No, Rod. You heard that one. Okay, see? LOL would have been scary to get a call from my mom who's been Hey, you know what? I've told this story before, and I told this story after watching. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget how I came up with what I said, because I just got finished watching Pet Cemetery. If anybody
Oh,
watched
great.
that show, you understand. And everybody, oh, but you got to understand the love for the child and blah blah blah. And I told everybody this: I love my grandma with all my heart. I stayed with my grandma for a long time, long time. Went all the way through high school with my grandma. That I loved her. She loved me. I loved her to death. However, my grandma died when I was 16. I am now 50. If my grandmother right now walked through that front door, you're gonna have to catch me as I'm jumping out this window, because we ain't finna hold this old cutesy little hug and kiss conversation. You ain't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to come to you. You ain't supposed to come back. So, no, this is not a cute story. This is not beautiful. This is creepy. So, yes, Mickey, you're right. I don't want to hold this conversation. In a way, so I,
What's creepy to me is trying to laugh about a serious mental condition.
good night, Foxy. Tacky
Night
stuff.
night, Foxy. And it happens all too often. I don't find it either funny, and I don't find it scary either. That's just me.
I Yeah, okay. I will move on to the second one. If this ain't spooky and scary, then I'm never doing this again. Cause doggone it.
Sorry.
I get it, because there's one story that I have to play because it was just funny as crap to me. But
What?
they do use the R word, and it's like,
Oh,
okay,
no.
wait a minute, let me finish. And I still to this date don't use that word. But the way it was, okay, I'll tell it instead of playing it. So it's a friend that's explaining to his a friend that's explaining what a friend told him. And his friend is very inclusive, or is that the word? They're very inner. They're not
Inverted.
forthcoming. Inverted. They're very
Introverted?
introverted. Thank you. They're very introverted. So introverted, when he got a girlfriend that was way out of his league, he couldn't believe it. So he said one day they're passionately hugging, and she says, "Talk dirty to me," but the friend don't say anything because obviously he don't know what to say. So now she says it a second time, "Talk dirty to me," but now she's demanding it. So he yells out or whispers in her ear, "Yeah, all word. You like that? You like that all word?" And it's like, oh my God, dude, that wasn't it. That is not it.
He called her a Republican. I mean, after all of that, I mean, come on. I mean, dude, come on. That's the one thing you don't call people is the Republican, especially when
Do,
you're passionately hugging.
Let's go with Republican.
do
I
we
know.
need to have a class in dirty talk?
Apparently, for him, he needs to be the first one that signs up because he.
Mm,
If you're an come on. If you're an introvert, to
He's like, look, this ain't me. So what
yeah,
we
this is not me. I'm
this
sorry.
ain't
This
this
is
ain't
not
my cup of tea.
normal.
yes. Don't be
Anyway,
afraid to say when something feels wrong to you.
They're like,
Ooh.
girl, you better write some words your own or do something your own stuff. I ain't
Yeah,
got that
write
capacity.
it down. The next time we do it, I'll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you write down what you want me to say. Then we can just be on the same page. Cause bruh, you did not have to call her a Republican.
that's scary story.
That is scary.
That's scary.
Story 32. A young boy is sitting in a class when he notices a girl of about the same age out the window and across the street. She smiles and holds up a hand, giving him the peace sign. The next time he looks, she's gone, but it looks like she dropped something. At recess, he crosses the street to where she was and finds a Polaroid picture of the girl holding up her 2 fingers like before. He can't get her off his mind for the rest of the day. There's something just a little bit off about the way she looked at him. That night, the boy wakes up to a sound outside his window. When he looks out, he sees the girl again, smiling strangely and holding up 2 fingers. He climbs out the window and begins to follow her. As he's crossing the street to where she's standing, a car crests the hill and strikes him, killing him instantly. The driver, distraught, jumps out of his car and finds the boy already dead. In his hand, the boy is clutching a photograph of a young girl smiling strangely and holding up 3 fingers. This one wasn't really scary.
3?
Okay.
Yeah, Marlon, don't do this segment
Yeah,
no
I'm
more.
not doing this no more.
What?
Y'all don't have no imagination.
I don't think I can figure out Father, Son, Holy Spirit, but that don't make no sense. That's one thing Serena
Okay.
can identify.
The only thing that I came up with, which I thought was cleverly written, but y'all don't have no imagination, was this girl is doing these murders, because that's what it is, on purpose. So every time that she have one, she holds up a finger. So the first time she holds up, probably the first picture she was holding up 1 finger. So the second time, and that's when the boy saw the Polaroid, she was holding up 2 fingers. So when the boy died,
He said he saw her outside and she did that.
holding up 2 fingers.
Because she had killed 2 people.
So she's killed 2 people.
But she didn't kill
So
him because he was ran over by somebody.
it doesn't matter. She was the one that set it up. So when the guy saw the Polaroid, she was holding up 3 fingers.
Yeah, don't do this
I'm
segment
not
no
doing this no
more.
more because y'all ain't got no imagination. Y'all,
No, we sure don't. Mm-mm.
I have a really good imagination where I can go all kinds of places, but
you have to see
this
what's
is mm-mm. I can't read.
Park, no, you don't want.
I
You
don't
really
want.
don't want
Okay,
to
never
read that
mind.
one.
You don't want to see that. There's
It's weird.
certain parts
StreamYard.
of wrestling that's just so goofy. It just makes me laugh, and that's what.
StreamYard isn't letting me have my phone like widescreen. It's only doing the
Yeah, Mickey, 3 fingers.
She got 2, so he was the third, like
he
Marlon
was
said.
the
Thank you.
third, yeah.
He was the third. And Mickey finally got it. Oh
We
no,
got it.
gone. That's all right. I'm never doing that segment ever again. Y'all.
Mm-mm.
Last segment of the day, because apparently these are the only things that y'all will understand.
It's hard.
No.
Marlon's job is hard. Coming up with things where people are going to be amused, and with this bunch,
And I be
you gotta
joking.
go with something intelligent.
I be joking when I get mad because it is hard and everything ain't gonna hit. And I understand that. There are some segments just to piggyback on what you were saying, Anna. There are some segments that was phenomenal. Everybody loved it. That
Mm-hmm.
I wonder should I even put this on the show? And everybody loved it. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. And we have like 30-minute segments on. I'm thinking, that was the stupidest crap that I ever put on here. How is this a 30-minute conversation? But it was. And then I'll go, oh, this is going to have good conversations. 10 minutes in, Yeah, that's stupid. Let's move on. What's the next one? So I'm like, it's always hit or miss. So when I'm looking like I'm bad, I'm really not bad because I have absolutely not a clue what's gonna hit. No, Tracy, I'm just always mad at you. Since you want to whisper, and then you whisper the wrong direction because you're whispering to
I
me. I'm
no,
looking
and
right
it's to
at
my right. And it's to my right. So
no, you did that. You did this. So you're whispering to me. Well, on the video, you're whispering to me.
oh, so it's
And
reversed. So I should
It's
have
yeah,
did
remember
reversed.
reverse.
this.
You
Yes.
can reverse it on here, and I did it one time and went. I've been doing this show for so long that my background look a certain way. So when I reverse it, it's like I don't like that. I don't want my door on the left hand side, which has been on the right hand side for the past 2 years. So I just leave it alone.
I do little checks, like, making sure I'm pointing the right way.
Now that the only thing I like is when somebody's below me and y'all make a good point, and I can or above it, but above it
Yep.
is left and right, and
I just
and
feel
that's
like
the person
such
who
and
ain't
such
said
person made a
nothing.
good point, and then keep it moving. I
Don't you
use this.
people besides Small and read these type of stories? I love
No,
it. No,
I read the Pick Your Own Adventure and stop saying you people.
don't you people? Oh, for the love. Anyway, last
Susan
segment
knows I'm
before we go to
joking. Susan knows
last
I'm
segment
joking.
of the night, because this may be y'all cup of tea since now I know my audience. But this is
Hmm?
the cup of tea. This lady, I actually have the audio of a crazy Karen, not the
Oh no.
story, the audio of the crazy Karen, and this is her going off of all people. Because I want you to keep this in mind, okay? Of all people, she's going off on a telemarketer who called her.
Phone screaming at a telemarketer.
Volunteer, my house has been broken into. I need to talk to your lawyer. I just called my lawyer.
What state are you from, ma'am?
It doesn't make any difference. You don't get to ask me any questions. I was just abused. I can call you any swear name. I need your first and last name. And believe me, there are consequences.
Mm-hmm.
It was to the point where I actually had an appendix rupture.
Mm-hmm.
Because of telemarketing calls. Wait, it doesn't matter what state. It is illegal. You're arrested. You're a hater, her life destroyer. I need your first and last name. The police are listening.
Okay, my name's Alex.
What's your last name?
I don't give my last name all over.
You called my house, Alex! Then let me talk to your supervisor. The police are ready.
Okay, I actually am a supervisor here. I can help you.
You broke a law. You did a felony harassment. You called my number. I used to be an EMT. People died because my answering machine was full. You don't have to give your last name, Alex.
Not if I don't want to.
You son of a motherfucker. Well, okay, so what?
Are the police really listening in on this?
What?
Are the police really?
So they want me to get you. You bet. Wait, you can hear it in a minute. You can hear the click. You guys? I heard a click.
Okay.
Okay? You call people's houses?
Mm-hmm. And by the way, we fully abide by the do not call list rules.
We are all on it. You cannot call anybody. And what are you talking about? But
I'm sorry, folks. I can't play the whole thing. But just take my word for it. It is on and on and on and on. And I'm going to sue your family because I know people in the IRS and they're going to audit you and your family and something about I'm going to make sure that your sisters get audited every year. I don't know how she got on the sisters and only the sisters, but the sisters, it's on. It's just, I can't do a second version of this because it is just, oh, and by the way, this is 3 minutes and 18 seconds. I got through 45 seconds of it, maybe a minute of it.
Mm-hmm.
I cut that down from 6 minutes of this.
I'm sorry.
On and on.
Poor young man.
On and on and on. And it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And I'm not, look, I'm the first to tell you I am an advocate of mental health. Dude, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. When you during it, I get it. If you hear a recording of yourself and even you look at yourself and go, yeah, I was right to be that bad, lady. You need mental health. It literally was not.
She couldn't have
It
just
was
hung up the phone.
like everybody on the face of the planet, Tracy. Like
I mean,
everybody on the face of the planet, hang the freaking phone up. That's it.
or
We're
you
done with
do
this
like I
conversation.
do, tell them do not put my name, take my name off your list. Don't call me.
There's a
Oh,
point when Karenism, goes beyond and becomes a mental health crisis. That was a mental health
that was
crisis.
a good
She had
no.
lost
Oh, she's
touch with
gone.
reality.
Anna, she's gone. She's gone.
I
Like
feel
I
I'm
said,
like,
I'm
Sid,
only
he
giving
should.
you a snippet of it. But when she went to her threat was for the IRS to make sure that the IRS audit your family. I'm going to, and some part of it, I'm going to make sure that I find every woman in your family and make their life miserable. I don't know where she was going with it. I don't even think she know where she was going with it. And what makes her, and what was making her more and more mad was he wasn't getting mad. And that was making her more mad because he wasn't.
Instant calm.
Yeah, he was staying calm. But when she said, "What's your first name?" Whatever she had said, Aaron
First
or
and
what?
last. She wanted first and
Yeah,
last.
first and last,
Alex, and then
Alex or Aaron or something. And what's your last name? I don't give out my last. Huh? You don't get. Ooh! I'm like, oh, this
Girl,
lady
just
is
hang up the phone.
gone.
I'm not an advocate of alcoholic beverages because of,
But this
but
dude is going to have a field day when he get off work.
is there any kind of rule when you work at a call center that you cannot hang up on customers?
yes, at the call center I
Yes and
work at,
no.
we cannot. They could call us every name
There are
in the
much ways to
book,
get to quit ringing
and
like, what
we
did I miss?
cannot. Of
Wow.
course, that doesn't mean a computer can't malfunction, but that's a whole different thing.
Okay, yeah.
There are some companies that's getting better, but
Yep.
they're still few and
Okay.
far between. But there are some companies that flat out, as soon as they start cussing, you give them a warning. If they cuss
Yep.
again, and you know what I mean by cussing. I don't mean,
Yeah.
"Oh, damn, this bill is high." That's not a warning. Like they're talking
Right.
clearly
Yeah.
about,
If they
well,
start saying you MF, you
you
make
Yeah.
MF
mistake,
and all that, you get a warning. If
call you
they
the
do it
N word.
again, you get a second warning with, I will disconnect this call. The third
Mm.
warning is, and the good thing about it is good, bad, whatever. I think it's good because it keeps you from making it personal. Because there's a script that you have to say. Sir, ma'am, you're using blah 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 language. I just have to
I'll
warn
use
you.
whatever language I want.
Ma'am,
Mm.
ma'am, again, you're using derogatory or inflammatory or I love the lawyer thing. That's always been my favorite rule. If you don't do what I tell you to do, then I'm gonna get my lawyer. Well, sir, since you have decided to bring in legal representation, I no longer can hold this conversation with you. I ask that you send all correspondence from this point on to our legal department. Thank
Thank
you and
you
have a
and have a
great
nice
day.
day.
And hang up. I love that rule.
Yeah.
I love that rule.
And people,
That's
boy,
good.
I could start on call center calls. Oh my goodness. It'd be the whole podcast. I don't even want to do it. It's the whole podcast. People who call centers, y'all need to check y'all attitude. That's all I'm gonna say. It ain't our fault. We just telling you, we answering your question. And that's
Hmm.
all I'm gonna say.
Hmm.
I haven't worked in a call center in a long time, and chances are my new job, whenever I get it, is going to be back to talking to people, which I've gone a long time not.
Hmm.
Because
And it's like you want to understand them. You understand they're having a bad day. They're not mad at you. But once you call me name, oh no, nah. Cause see, old Tracy would call him back and
so
be like,
basically,
"You
you
have
have
I
to,
don't need it."
yeah,
Hmm.
you do.
You do have to talk to him like a child,
You
basically.
do. Because some of the
Yeah.
time, even when I was working at a call center, I used to have to say, ma'am or sir, please stop yelling. Not because I don't understand that you're upset, it's because I don't understand a word that's coming out of your mouth. So I can't help you because I don't even understand what the issue is because all you're yelling and screaming at the top of your lungs, and on my side I'm getting and I'm like, I don't even know your name. Let alone help you because I don't even know what you're saying.
Wow.
And usually, you know, especially when people call in, oh my goodness, when your child has to tell you to calm down in the background, that's when you've lost it. When your small child has to say, "Mommy, please stop yelling,"
Wow.
stop. Just
What?
take
Wait a
a
minute.
take a look at yourself.
What's the story
Mhm.
about the lady who went to Subway or whatever it was, and she went to get the sub, and I want that bread. Can you put that stuff on it? I changed my mind. Can you not? Can you take the stuff off? Can you give me another piece of bread and blah blah blah? And just had a hissy fit when they said they don't have this special kind of sauce. And the daughter looked at her and said, "See, this is why I don't stay with you and I stay with daddy," and walked out. If that
Oh.
don't hit you
It
as a
should.
parent,
When your
if
child
that
has to
don't hit you as a parent, to not only say that, but walk out like, I don't even want to hold
Mhm.
a conversation. I don't even want to still go on the road to rest.
I know, I'm trying to figure out how to do it, Marlon. What
Like,
Marlon said.
do you as a parent, that hurts.
It should.
But then again,
It.
I give a damn. It ain't about me. So sorry. Sorry. I actually do kind of care what my children do, especially if I know I'm in the wrong. But there are some people who
They can't tell me nothing. I'm always right. You probably didn't need to have children.
I raised you.
Mhm.
You owe me. I don't owe you for doing your
No.
job. What are you talking about? You did your job. Congratulations. I'm out of your house. Bye.
You the one had unprotected sex, so what we like really doing here?
Nothing. All right, so that's the first hour. We're going to be rolling into the second hour with Real or Nah and Foxy's videos of the week. 3-minute break to reboot, refresh, and I'll see you all on the other side. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally. I always stay dreaming, never imagine I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free,
Cause I was doing something else. So I'm like, oh.
Look, the worst part is when I got to use the bathroom and I hear like the last chorus part of it. I'm like,
You
Dang
be
it.
have to tell everything.
we're back. We're back. I was sitting here the whole time. Welcome to the second hour of Saturday Night Vibes. So before we get started, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Do not forget that Radical Truth to Power is tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please do not forget to support Tracy at a Better Tracy Media page, patreon.com. Please do not forget to support Theas at patreon.com/complex mind. Please do not forget to support us at patreon.com/radical truth to power, exactly the way it's spelled, capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to support Anna Hart on her website, borelli.etc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, please do not forget, if you need to send me any type of message, Mafia videos of the week, cuss me out, whatever floats your boat, you can send that to radtp@outlook.com. That's radtp@outlook.com.
But don't cuss him out.
I
Okay.
say go for it.
You can go for it. You ain't gonna like it, but you can go for it.
Use your words.
You
You
could do it. Just
That's for
understand I'm
me to
gonna do
do.
it back.
Oh wait a minute, I said that's for me to do. Like I'm gonna cuss anybody out.
really.
Like, okay, this is your first warning. If you get a second warning, you're going
You put in
to
time.
put in time out.
Essentially, that's what you're doing.
Basically, yeah. The first warning
Okay.
is, hey, this is real. The second warning is, hey, I'm serious. And the third warning is, click. Basically, is what it is. Like I said, the only
It's
bad
fair.
thing about it is you kind of have to say the script, because you got to remember that
Your calls
you're
are
being
being recorded.
recorded. So when
Right.
the person comes back, they can say anything like, "Oh no, he cussed me out," and said, "Don't you effing cuss at me," and all this. So you know, in order to stop you from doing that, you have to go through the whole thing. Sir, you heard the recording. He warned you twice before just disconnecting the call. You literally have to say disconnect, not hung up, before
Mm.
disconnecting the call. Like it's a whole stuff.
Wow.
Molly, you're gonna have to go back and watch that Bray Wyatt match. It was hilarious. I watched bits and pieces of it. And you don't have to know a darn thing about wrestling. Just understand that the lights was turned off in the arena. The majority of the lights was turned off in the arena, and the only thing that was lighting the wrestling ring and the people around, because they was wearing glow in the dark body paint. I'm like, oh no! Don't you ever do this match ever again. This is awful. Stop. Don't you do this again ever. Just think of a rave just think of a rave that ended in a fight. That's pretty much what it looks like. Or all of the 1970s. Either way. Molly, did you see the video I said a couple of weeks ago? Biden forgetting that woman's name while singing happy birthday, and also he said it was her 30th birthday, but actually it was her 48th or 49th birthday.
And
No,
she.
I thought it was it Martin Luther King the
Oh, when
third, and he
he
forgot
sang
the
happy
name?
birthday. Yeah, he forgot. He forgot he was singing happy birthday to Martin Luther King Jr. He was talking to Martin Luther King the third, and he forgot his wife's name. I'm like, oh, it did.
I would play it. I would play it, but at a certain point, it's like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Susan. Don't. It's okay, Ella. It's wrestling. It's like I could give you a slew of stuff that some of them are really, really good, and then some of them are the ones where people don't watch it anymore because it's stupid, and even I go, yeah, it's stupid. That was really stupid. That was terrible.
Akeem African Dream was stupid. Oh, and racist.
And racist. No, once you grow up and you look.
He was like,
All
dang,
right,
we
I'm
thought
gonna
this
say
was
this real
funny.
quick, and then we got to get back on it. Once you grow up and you look at wrestling and go, wow, this is the most racist and or sexist and Parker can attest to this, most homophobic thing that's happening. Because being gay is funny. Get it? Wink, wink. Being a
I
gay.
mean, they was really going for it. I'm like, you don't.
Well, look, the dude's manager was Slick the Pimp. So,
Who is
yeah.
in real life an ordained minister? Isn't that ironic?
We've had that. Did we have that twice? Somebody who wasn't really an ordained minister, and then he went into wrestling, and then he came back out and quit and went back
The
to being.
Undertaker's manager?
No, he's dead. No.
Oh,
let's go to real or nah while Anna is still awake. Real or nah? I really want people to videotape themselves watching our videos back and going, is she asleep? Just somebody do that. So I can go, no, say the wrong thing. Trust me, she'll pop right back up. Trust me. It's really.
I'm meditating. But I'm listening to everything.
Sometimes I'm straight up
definitely
sleeping.
has a history of blatant racism and sexism. Oh, you have no idea. As a child, my brother's friends went to Sundale Garden every weekend to watch. I have no idea where that's at.
I guess that's in New York.
Sunnyside Gardens. Where's that at? Oh, what city that's in? But I've never heard of it. Okay, real or nah? Here's the deal. I'm gonna give you my answer at the end. Only because, and I'm gonna tell you exactly. Not only am I gonna tell you if I think it's real or not, I'm gonna tell you exactly when I decided when it was real or not. It's 2 parts because it's pretty long. So here we go. First part.
So, a little backstory. I have a really nice gray Land Cruiser that looks like a monster truck, and it costs a lot of money. Not because of the car itself, but mostly the parts inside of it. I live in a pretty good neighborhood, but it happens to be right next to the most busy road in my area. Also, I was underage when it comes to drinking, so I have never had alcohol in my life, unless I was at church. So let's meet the cast. EM, horrifying excuse for a mom. PK, poor kid, not really playing a part in this story. PO, police officer, aka my guardian angel. Me, most lucky guy in the world. All right, let's start. So I get a message from my coworker saying that there's a problem at work and I'd better come over. So I get out of my house, get in my Land Cruiser, and drive off in a bit of a rush. A few minutes pass and I'm about 3 miles away from work. I stop at a red light at this busy intersection on the most busy effing road in the entire country. There are car crashes here almost every other day. One time it happened twice in one day. So it's no surprise that I got into one at this intersection. So the light turned green and I was in a rush, so I was well in front of the cars beside me. Then, just as I'm about to clear the intersection, a big red minivan T-bones me and we both go sliding in different directions. Me, not as much because my car is much heavier than hers. I almost passed out because of shock and looked out my window to see who dropped a missile strike to the right of my car. I get out of my car and it's in pretty bad shape. There's a huge dent right next to the passenger side door and the glass is broken on the mirror. Luckily, nothing else that's visible. Enter entitled mom and poor kid. EM. What were you doing? Trying to drive ahead like that on red light? You could have killed me or my baby in that crash. And we have a very important birthday to go to. Me. I'm sorry, but it was a green light for me, not for you. And I had the right of way. EM in a quiet, accusatory tone. No, you didn't have the right of way. We had the right of way, not you. Me. Explain to me how you had the right of way. EM. I don't have to explain to you, you drunk a-hole. Once again, underage, never drank in my life. Are you going to pay for my car or what? Her car, the red minivan, looks almost like the front of it was blown up, then rammed by 100 bulls and a couple wrecking balls. I'm honestly surprised that she and her son survived because the driver's seat headrest was impaled by a piece of metal. Satan is most likely protecting his hellspawn from any harm, so she can be the biggest Karen this world has ever seen.
I want to hear part 2 first before I give my opinion.
Okay, give your opinions thus far. I'm just curious I'm doing this fair, but I'm just kind of curious, is the first part you have an opinion, and then the second part, does it change your opinion?
Does it change?
I'll let Anna go first.
So are we supposed to sum up whether we think it's real or not
Real
so
or
far?
not, simply from the first part.
I think it's real.
Yeah, I had to agree. So far, it sounds like something.
So far.
So
Yep.
far.
Okay. Second part.
Okay, here we go.
Me. No, you're going to pay for it along with the damage you did to my car. This was the wrong thing to say. EM. Excuse me, you drunk B-turd. You honestly think I'm going to pay for your crappy A truck that you and your drinking buddy probably pulled out of a trash pile? Me. Yes, B. Again, also wrong thing to say. EM. How dare you treat me like that in front of my kid, you stupid piece of crap? My darling should never be exposed to your potty mouth. Your mother probably left you for dead because you were the most ugly piece of crap in the whole family of 20 kids. And the orphanage that you currently live in got tired of your bullcrap, so they gave you $100 to go buy this piece of crap lump of metal with wheels. Me. Angry as hell. That's it. I'm calling the cops if someone hasn't done so already. PK. Mommy, please stop harassing him. He's done nothing wrong. EM. He's done everything wrong. About 10 minutes later of yelling, 3 cop cars and an ambulance arrive. PO. Excuse me, sir. What happened here? Me. Well, EM. It was horrible, officer. This man was drunk driving. Once again, I was clearly underage and ran a red light, which was clearly visible and almost killed me and my baby. Me. That's not true, officer. This woman is clearly lying, and you can see that I'm sober, and there were a ton of witnesses to the accident and what ensued, and they can tell you that she's in the wrong. PO. Well, I might as well check both of you and the security cameras. There were security cameras in the intersection that recorded everything. EM, clearly seeing that she was going to get caught. Oh, there's no need of doing that. We'll just exchange info and... PO. I'm sorry, ma'am, but it's required that I know what happened and which of you is in the wrong, so we'll be watching the cam footage together. The police officer found the accident and saw that EM was clearly running a red light and she was speeding by at least 20 miles over the limit. The limit was 50. Then checks us both with a breathalyzer, and I'm completely sober. But she, couldn't remember the exact number, was the equivalent of, quoting the police officer, having both eyes closed and driving with your feet drunk. They even found a bottle of Jack Daniels in the passenger side back seat half empty. However, the best part is still to come. Turns out she was never going to a birthday party. She was actually leaving the city. Oh, why, you ask? Because it turns out she had 3 pouches of illegal substances worth maybe $2,000 in her trunk. Does it end there? No. She was packing heat, and quite a bit for my state. That's right, police found a loaded handgun and a 6-inch switchblade in the center console. Combine all that, and you get $5,600 in repairs to my car, and a couple thousand more, or reprimands, 10.5 years in prison, 3 years on probation, and plenty of parenting classes. Not to mention the several $100 speeding tickets she received before they found the drugs and weapons. EK was sent to his blood father, who actually divorced his mother because of her alcoholism. Personally, I wouldn't even call that waste of human potential a mother.
Okay. It's teetering on false.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can they actually call up the footage of a traffic cam, like right then and there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually can.
They
Yep.
can?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm saying true.
I'm good. Some parts of the second part don't make sense to me. Like, yeah, she might have been carrying, I don't know, drugs or blah 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 blah. But how did he know all of that backstory? Like all of that backstory he was knowing. I'm like, that. I don't want to change my vote because I still believe it mostly. But that last part of him knowing her entire police history is. I'm gonna change it to false. There's no. I don't think this is real. Only because he knew her entire history of her leaving the state because she was in drugs and the father left her because she was had substance abuse issues. How you gonna know that all because of one car crash? I'm gonna change mine and say, nah, this is not real.
Okay. Let's see what everybody else say before I even go. Oh my gosh, it's like a football game where they all go, we are going to further review and watch it together.
Those
Yeah.
progressive commercials.
10.5 years in prison.
That's what I'm
that
saying. I'm like,
seems like an overkill. Okay, so my answer to all of this is bull crap. This is not real. And the only reason I say this is because, and look what she has in her car. She has a Jack Daniel in the back seat. This is the most weapons I ever seen in my state. One gun and a knife. Dude, what state did you stay in? Because that ain't nowhere near the most. Like, I've seen way worse in a neighborhood. You talk about the whole state. This is the worst I've seen. One gun and a knife. Sure. Okay. Now I'm with what Tracy said. Dude, you ain't gonna know that she got 10 years in prison. You're not gonna know what the blood alcohol limit is. You're not gonna know she had a gun and a weapon, because at this point it's like, we're arresting you. We're arresting her,
yeah,
sir.
they're gonna just
You're free
arrest
to
her.
go. Because the rest of it is not your business. Literally. Like, we're arresting her for drug, alcohol. And by the way, now this Anna is the part what kills me. I know a lot of cops. They're not holding a full conversation in front of you, especially to the point of saying, yeah, she has the equivalent of driving with her eyes closed and driving the car with her feet. You act like they came up to you, the person, and go, yeah, man, you can't believe what she blew, dude. Whew, it was bad.
She was sauce.
She was 20 miles over the speed limit. She was blanked up. And oh, by the way, we just searched her car and she has a whole bunch of weapons.
And her husband, he left her because she had substance abuse issues.
She has
And
substance abuse. I'm
yeah,
like,
I'm like,
come on.
huh?
Y'all
How you gonna?
holding this conversation like, hey, since
Nah.
you're here. Since you're here, bro, let me tell you all that happened. Come on, man. So I'm gonna go with nah. It's too much. It's too much information that the guy knows. Oh, will you cut it out? You just sat down. It's too much information that the guy knows that's not going to be shared like that to anybody.
Even if cops are allegedly crooked and a gun happy, they still ain't gonna be doing all this. Oh, and her husband left her, and nah, how he gonna even know that?
I believe it was real until the recording.
That means she.
Yeah, it was like the recording could be true, but here's another thing, Mickey. The recording
Because they can, the recording
they
part.
can bring it up, but again, she's 20 miles over the speed limit, dude. How you know that is not going to be told in front of you?
Because the cars were already crashed. So how did he know she was 20 miles up? It's not like he was no.
I believe before the content of the truck too. You know what? I was good with the content of the finding alcohol in the trunk, but when you and they found the guns, and they found a dead body, and they found that she was a serial killer, and they found that really wasn't even her kid.
She was at the January 6th insurrection. It was her that planned the whole thing. What?
And they found, I forgot to even say that. How you know there was $2,000 worth of drugs in her?
Yeah, how did you know?
again, where is you getting?
I want to know. My thing was, as soon as they said, "Oh, she was doing 20 miles over the speed limit," did you have a speedometer gun that you knew the
Yes, a
cars had
police
already
officer
been
is going to
crashed?
tell you all that info about the other. Yes, they're not going to tell you all this
They sure
information about
not.
the other person. They're just
Now
not going
you
to share that with you.
now if he had said later, I found out from big blabbermouth. Well, okay, maybe I would have believed it, but he could have stopped me right at that 20 miles an hour over the speed limit.
You literally, even if he was to say later in public documents, because if you are arrested and charged and everything else, now it's public record, you can read it. You could have said in public records
Yeah, we
later
found
on.
this amount of.
You act like the cops just found all this information. Every time they find out something, they ran up to you and go, and she was 20 miles under the speed limit, and runs back to her. She got a gun.
She got a
She got a
knife,
knife.
a shovel.
There's a Jack Daniels in the trunk. Man, that ain't even her kid. Like, come on, man. It was a nice story, but you oversold it. So sorry, but not sorry. Tracy, she was at the
Yeah.
yeah, might as well. Again, how can we miss the obvious one? Come to find out, she wasn't going to a birthday party. She was leaving town.
How did you know she was
How
leaving
did you
town?
know that?
Did she?
What that got to do with your wreck?
Mm-mm.
Let's put it to you that way.
If they
Let's
had,
put it to you that way. What does any of the information that you have if had to do with your wreck? And if it doesn't, you don't know that stuff.
I'm looking at a police officer real salty if they tell me that much. Let's look, Sherlock Holmes. You did not know all of that based off of a car crash.
Dude.
If they had
No, I'm
just
looking at
told,
him like, Mr. Clyburn, she also got a 12 gauge shotgun, and I really am gonna look at him and go, why are you telling me this?
yeah, I don't.
She got a whole case of Jack Daniels in her trunk. Why are you
Read
telling
Mickey's
me
comment. Please read Mickey's comment. No, she didn't. Mickey, you so wrong.
that she had
Mickey, you. Oh.
No, she is George.
Oh my! If they had just played the first half of the story, I might have believed it. But boy, that 20 miles over the speed limit thing, dude, how he gonna surmise that? How?
And by the way, but I have to say this. That's not where I started thinking that it was fake. I started thinking it was fake when she was doing the insults. Because that was like, lady, these
You
are the
drunk.
lamest insults I have ever
You're
heard
drunk.
in my life.
And then another thing, yeah, what I didn't catch, he kept saying I was sober. Okay, why you gotta keep bringing that up? I just now caught that. How many times?
No, she kept saying he was drunk.
No, he said he wasn't drunk.
He was
said
underage and could
underage.
not drink. He was very, except for church.
Yeah, he can only drink in church. But why did he keep saying I'm sober? I'm sober. Like, why bring that up? It didn't matter. She was really George Santos and drag.
Mickey.
Go to bed, Mickey.
Mickey, don't ever change, please. Foxy's videos of the week. So our first video of the night, all of these is political, but trust me, well, you know what? No, I'm actually gonna play the serious one and get it out the way. Well, I'm gonna play the two serious ones and get them out the way. Yeah. I'll play the two serious ones and get them out the way. You people, because I know Tracy hate when I say that, but you people, because you know who you are. If you
A
have a
lot of people
problem,
are saying that lately, Tracy. I don't know why.
Isn't
if
it
you have a,
terrible?
It is.
I tell you, you know why I started using you people, because it's the same thing as saying I'm not going to do this absolute every time I say something. So when I say you people, you know who you are. So you people who have to have a problem with abortion, fine. I get it. I really do understand it. I really do. There's just some people who look at it a certain way, and you have every
Mhm.
right to. But stop lying about it.
Hmm.
That's when you lose me. Stop. Excuse me, Tracy. I apologize. Stop making up bullshit to get your point across. Because that's what it is, and you're pissing me off to the top. Stop it. Here we go. That's bullshittery.
There's really nothing more delicious than watching strong liberal women call out the conservative nonsense of their male colleagues.
We have born alive individuals, and we must protect the born alive. In this case, a partial birth abortion. The child is in part born alive. Therefore, this amendment would merely remedy any possible language that would counteract that statement.
This is a perfect example of why politicians should not be making medical decisions, is because we are literally making stuff up and writing laws about it at this exact moment. A child does not come out part way alive and then doctors kill it. That's not a thing. That's not a thing today. It's not a thing tomorrow. It's not a thing 10 years ago. It's not a thing. So for us to legislate things that don't exist in real life, again, perfect example of why politicians should not practice health care. And so I would recommend a no vote on this amendment, Madam Chair.
She handled that better than I would have.
I'm sorry, guys. Guys, if you don't like it, I get it. Fine. I get it. There's things that you like that I don't like, and vice versa. If you have an issue with it, cool. But you know you're in the wrong when you're coming up with just crap out of your butt that you know is not true. They're partially out and they can still be aborted. No, at that fucking point, dude, it's murder. It has never happened ever. And if it has, cool. Because I'm going to say something that you know that you're not going to do, but I'm going to say it anyway for everybody else who just happen to be listening, who happen to be scrolling by and everything else. When people say some bull crap like that, do me a favor and ask them, show me proof. Show me some type of documentation that you're not going to the 20 and 24 page of Google to find somebody who typed it up in their basement from somebody that they heard from on the 34th page of Google. So I want medical documentation of everything that you said. Because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard somebody say. And it's the most dangerous thing I've ever heard somebody say. And why don't you just go ahead, be a man, grow some balls, and just go, you know what? I just want to make this law so I can feel like I'm superior over women's bodies. Superior over women's bodies. At least be mad and bold enough to say it. But you're not. And we all know that you're not. So that's why I literally say, you people. At a certain point, I'm gonna stop using the word people. Mess around and find out, and I'm gonna start calling you cretins. You liars. I'm gonna start using other adjective. People just seem like I'm giving you a pass at a certain point. Anna, Tracy.
She did better than me. I see. This is why I can never be in elected office. If some fool like that started so I'm like, dude, when is you ever gonna have a child? That's gonna happen about never. You just want to feel, like Marlon said, superior to women. I guarantee this bill probably passed. I'm pretty sure it did. Without even knowing what state it is, I'm pretty sure I can take a good guess at saying it passed because protecting the, what did he say, unalive or uh, whatever nonsense he was spouting, never forgetting that you're supposed to take care of children, widows, but hey, let's cut SNAP, let's cut Medicaid, but make it illegal for you to get an abortion. What's wrong with people? This is where I start blaming the electorate because that nitwit couldn't have wrote that law if he never got elected in the first place. How? How do people go into a poll and say, you know what? This man wants to do some crazy stuff. Let me vote for him. What? It's a point, I keep saying it. The electorate has to be held responsible for some of the foolishness that's going on. Not a popular opinion, but these nitwits did not get to where they are unless somebody said, I'm voting for that person.
Emma?
Well, there's some gerrymandering and all of that, but yeah, it's true. We get who we deserve.
You don't want to stand up and fight these morons. And I said what I said about the next 2 years. I appreciate y'all giving me a whole 2 years of material to talk about because that's all y'all giving me. If y'all think something great is going to come out of a House controlled, a Republican controlled House, you're out of your ever loving mind. I appreciate the material. At least I know I'm not going off the air for the 2 years. I appreciate it. Thank you. But if you think something fantastic is coming out of a House, I don't keep getting it backwards. A Republican controlled House who decides they're gonna get rid of everybody. It is kind of funny because I am talking about Democrats. Semi-honest individuals who can be replaced with people who are blatantly liars on committees. Okay, fantastic.
At some point, I just have to hope that they're gonna want to not look like illiterate assholes.
And they don't care. They don't care.
They don't want to look like illiterate assholes because they're getting voted in by Nope. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the doggone video. That's the next video because I can't even. They explain it a whole lot freaking better than me.
Listen, if you're trying to convince me that the reason you're voting Republican isn't because you're a homophobe, isn't because you're racist, and isn't because you're a misogynist who believes women should be second-class citizens, and the real reason you're voting Republican is because of the economy, I want to remind you here, very nicely, of course, that our economy has taken a shit under every single Republican.
A literal dump.
And that Republicans have added to our national debt more than any Democrat presidents.
Yep.
And the reason so many of you refuse to acknowledge this is because you refuse to turn your Fox News off and pay attention to what Democrat leaders are doing during the times that they're serving in positions of power. But also, I just wanted to mention that if you think the price of a gallon of milk is more important than the price of your daughter's bodily autonomy, that makes you an asshole.
It does.
If you're placing the stock market that you have no stock in anyways, above the priority of your friends and your family that are gay or trans or women, that makes you a piece of shit. Anyways, glad we went over those things.
Cheers.
Do you understand now? Or do we have to go through another deficit again?
They don't care.
Which is, Tracy, it was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, I know. But I guess I'm just frustrated because I can't believe people don't see through this. I mean, Trump literally increased the deficit, although I have questions about, can't y'all just print more money? But that's a whole discussion for a whole nother day. Trump literally increased it. And they were just like, okay, What? I don't see anything wrong. Biden, we haven't even got this whole debt ceiling crisis thing is a manufactured piece of garbage in the
Yeah,
first
because
place.
you know you're going to
It's
do it.
Who's
only a
going to raise it?
problem under Democratic presidents.
Yeah, it's
But you
never
know,
a
but that's the
problem.
funny thing about it is, but we're not sure. We're not sure. Dude, why don't we skip the middleman? Because you're going to do it. You do it every time. You did it the last freaking time this came up that you didn't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not. Dude, can we skip the speeches and everything else? You're going to do it. None of y'all want to be responsible for shutting down the government. Y'all are stupid. Y'all ain't that freaking stupid.
I think they are that freaking stupid this time.
No, they're not. At the
I
last
think
second, they out at the last second, because the last time they did it what, a week or two before we shut down? They do it every freaking
I
time.
think these yahoos don't give a bleep. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong, but they don't care.
Yeah,
They
you know
don't
what,
care.
Tracy? Because here's the funny thing about it. This is why I know they're not going to do it. Because these are the only people who are so corrupt in their thinking, they're not going to screw over their own constituents. They just have to make a play that we're really thinking about. Maybe we shouldn't do it, but as soon as billionaire Ted comes and tells them, you know what, I got a whole bunch of stock tied up into guns, so I'm gonna need the military to.
I think Parker
doing
raises a serious point that says that most people don't care about the national debt ceiling. So when they don't get their Social Security checks, they're going to blame Joe Biden. They're not going to blame Matt Gaetz. They're not going to blame any of those people. Joe Biden is going to get the blame. That's why I think they're going to do it, because they know exactly who the public is going to blame. May not even be his fault, but that's who they're going to blame.
Mm-hmm.
Name the last Democrat who had a deficit. Okay, let me make it an easier question. Name the last Republican who had a deficit.
There was Trump. There was Reagan. There was
Bush.
George W.
Oh
Bush.
my
Father
freaking
Bush.
God! Can you understand now? Can you literally try to understand it now? Clinton gave you a freaking surplus. Now, trust me, I'm not a Clinton fan, because you also are definitely the issue with the housing crisis that went on at that time. Bruh, that was all you. And woo. Marlon, they do nothing but screw over their own constituents.
They do it all the time. All the time.
Good morning from Norway. Hey,
Polar Nights.
Hello, sir, or ma'am, or they, or them, or whatever. Welcome to the show. Appreciate it. Hey, y'all, if y'all do me a favor, please do not forget to hit that like button. I appreciate it. That story was just a little more lighthearted, only because the people got caught. You know, I tell my kids something all the time when they was growing up, and probably be telling my grandkids and my great-grandkids too. If you're going to lie, cool, lie. You're a kid. If you're going to lie, at the very least, make it a good lie. Don't just lie just to lie, and you know doggone well it's easy, but here we go. If you're going to lie, make it a good lie.
McDonald's is basically firing everybody.
Wow, that's surprising. If only there had been somebody on TikTok with a basic understanding of economics who could have told you that this guy raising the minimum wage for fast food workers to $22 an hour wasn't economically feasible.
Hi, Sally. Remember me? Let's have some fun. Now, you say that this guy, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, is responsible for all these McDonald's employees for losing their job because he raised the minimum wage to $22 an hour. That's giving Gavin Newsom a lot of credit. First off, the minimum wage in California is $15 an hour. You can look it up here. And secondly, these robots are being rolled out in Texas, Fort Worth to be exact. And in Chicago, they're testing out some AI-driven drive-thrus. That's quite a reach for Gavin Newsom, governor of California. Now, we all know you got a big old hate boner for Gavin Newsom and all things left side of the aisle, but this video's been up since before Christmas. And a lot of people outside of me have proven that you are blatantly wrong with all of your facts and you have not taken your video down. So now we're all just going to assume that you got a humiliation kink. And that's okay. We're not here to kink shame.
If you raise the minimum wage, that's just going to make prices go up.
They don't even know what state the McDonald's. Oh no, she probably did. No, I'm not giving credit for that, Parker. Probably knew exactly where it was at. No, let me take that back. Probably not.
She doesn't care.
Well, she didn't care when she made that video. She also probably just saw there are ways in the. First of all, lady, come here. Do me a favor. I don't even know if you stay in California. I honestly don't even care when I make this next statement. Again, if you're gonna lie, you try to rile up your friends, your neighbors, your confidence, your dog. I don't care who you try to rile up. Make sure we can't Google stuff, such as minimum wage in California is $23. We can Google that. McDonald's is firing all these people because the minimum wage is going up. We can Google that. They're doing all these AIs and all these McDonald's making people lose their jobs in California. We can Google that. Everything that you said, we can Google. Now, granted, I know this is a old trite that I use, but I'm being serious because I've seen people do it. If you decide to Google something like the minimum wage in California, and you skip all the way to the 10th page of Google because they're not saying what you want them to say, I'm gonna need you to not Google anything because you're not, trying to hear logic or, God forbid, facts. Because that's beneath you. Or above you, depending on your IQ. So all I'm saying, if you have a hate voter for certain people, could you at the very least wait till they actually do something? Because surprisingly enough, everybody is not perfect. Politicians included. They will make a mistake. The majority of the time they do. Can you at least wait until they make a mistake and then call them out on it instead of just making stuff up? Or go ahead and get your hate rocks off so you can go to bed at night. I don't know what you're doing, but hey, whatever. Tracy, Anna?
I can't with people. Anna, literally, I could say a lot, but everybody said.
I'm just getting tired. Tired of
it is
telling you that no, that's not true.
Because they're essentially going to believe what they want to believe anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell people that $7.25, we need to raise the minimum wage. They will literally say, well, prices are going to go up. Hey, here's a newsflash, people who are against raising the minimum wage. Prices are still going up, and the minimum wage is still $7.25. But hey.
Do that math.
Well, we need to pay $40 an hour. Why not 50? Why not more than $7.25? Why not more than? They'll just raise their prices. They're raising them now.
That's what, and I literally remember telling somebody that we can't raise the minimum wage. Why? Because the companies will raise their prices. Dude, they're raising their prices now. They raise their prices year after year after year after year. So what do you think that they're going to raise the prices to? And can you at the very least get the minimum raise so we can pay for the raises that we know is going to come anyway? They're not raising the minimum. They're not raising their prices because minimum wage went up. They're raising their prices because they're greedy.
Exactly, which is partially to blame for inflation. But hey, I'm not an economist or anything.
Yeah, I love those. I love those arguments. I remember this is so benign, but it does prove in politics how people think. I said to somebody on no, I remember exactly what it was, clickbaity. I remember exactly what I posted it. I went, when you grow up, you realize that Janet Jackson really can't dance. And by the way, I still believe that
I'm a
Janet Jackson really can't dance. And anybody that wants to argue with me, look at Pleasure Principle. Look at the video and tell me that's some good dancing. That was awful. That's some terrible dancing.
That's from the man who thinks that New Edition is the greatest male group of all time.
I look. I may be wrong on that, but I know what dance look like, and Janet ain't it. As years go on, maybe she got better, but Pleasure Principle was like, what is she doing? Is she having a heart attack? What is? I think she get a. I don't know what that was, but anyway, I posted that statement on clickbaity on Facebook, and I had somebody go, "Are you a dance teacher? Do you teach dance somewhere?" And I'm like, the fuck? So you mean I have to be a professional to know that somebody can and cannot dance? If I look at a quarterback who throws 19 interceptions in a game and I go, that quarterback's awful. Are you a coach? No, I have eyes. I just know what looks terrible. Politics is no different. Just like what Tracy said. The economy look bad because of XYZ. Are you an economist? Where's your degree at? Dude, you know what? I don't have a degree in it. But you know what I do have? I do have a diploma. And you know what that diploma says? That I can read.
Yep.
My mind is functional. I can look at statistics. I can look at analysts. I can look at BS when calling BS, while you can't, and realize you're wrong. So no, I don't have to have an economics degree from an Ivy League college to understand, hey, would you mind raising the minimum wage?
Those stuff just gonna go up.
Raising of prices in America? Thank you.
They literally will sit here and tell you, well, they could just get better jobs. Oh yeah, those are all abundance.
Oh, we should get. Cool. Wait a minute. Okay, cool. They should get better jobs. Were you not the same people that was bitching about when we was going through the pandemic and they were shutting down all the businesses, and you had to wait 25 minutes for your Big Mac because you didn't have enough employees that wanted to not get paid the little cheap minimum wage and be treated like crap?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So they decided that, yeah, I would rather stay at home and get unemployment plus $300 or whatever the price is in their state than put up with you. But now that's not good enough. You decide they should get better jobs. And you know what you would do if everybody decides to get better jobs? Nobody wants to work
anymore.
Nobody wants to work in the fast food restaurant. Nobody wants to be treated like crap.
Yeah, how dare they demand safe and humane working conditions? Next thing they gonna want is health care. People just ain't never satisfied.
God forbid y'all don't understand that giving somebody a clear plastic bag of a movie ticket and a bottle of whatever that was. I don't know.
Mm. So you all want to hear just a little story of karma actually working?
Sure.
I forgot to tell you this because we were off when I finally found this out. You remember back last May where my family tried to do the rally and we had some MAGA assholes?
Yep. Anybody that mess with my sister, I don't forget. So yes, I remember.
The guy who was next to me and trying to push me over by being a big bully, he is now in jail. He and his
Oh,
wife went to the Capitol on January 6th.
look at. Mm-mm-mm. What?
When the
Thank you
bully,
for. Thank you for shit. Boy, I can say a
He
lot.
is in jail.
Prison or jail? Because there's a difference.
Jail.
Really? Because at this point it should be prison.
I probably
Once he gets
because it
convicted.
only just happened that
Oh,
he and his wife got convicted. So he's probably waiting, and I'm not sure about. I'm not going to say about any kind of sentence because I'm not remembering right now. I just remember seeing his face on the front of a newspaper, and be like, "That's the guy." And you know what? I smiled the rest of the day.
It's hard not to smile when people get their comeuppance. Boy, is
Mm-hmm.
it hard. Woo.
well, when you sit there, but you should smile on the miseries of others. Bull
Mm-hmm.
crap. I'm smiling on the misery of a lot of people who brought misery upon everybody else. You're out of your
Yes.
freaking mind. I
Yeah.
sure will, and sleep well doing it.
I will smile at karma. You know, because sometimes it's so far and few in between that you think, okay, karma's not a thing. But then a little thing like this happens. And you go, okay, I believe again.
You know the funny thing about it, when people have wronged me on a lot of things, and I have literally told everybody, I'm not going to do anything to that person. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to badmouth them. I'm not going to go whatever. I'm not going to do anything. Only for the fact that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that whatever it is that they did, they're going to keep doing.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, when they keep doing it, they're going to get caught. And there's nothing that I'm going to do to them that's going to be worse than the person who just got something from out of the blue. I'm not going to do anything. But if you think I'm not sitting in my bed smiling from ear to ear when I find out that it happens and have the most beautiful sleep that I've ever had in a long time, you're out of your mind. Yes, I am
Mm-hmm.
that petty. Or, as everybody else would say, yes, I am that human.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's
All right, last video of the night. It's really just entitled "When the Republicans Moved the Goalposts." I had to make this the last one because it was just funny as crap to me, and I like this dude. I really would like to meet this dude in person because he makes some really good TikTok videos.
Well, 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 it looks like Biden's guilty of the same crime as Trump. So Trump's guilty of a crime. No, but where's your call for an investigation? He should be investigated. Whoa, that was fast. Isn't it gonna hurt to lose your dear leader? No, because I didn't buy NFTs of the guy. Trump still makes you guys so mad. Sure, but at least we didn't get called for a face mask penalty on the House floor. Look, can we talk about the issues? Okay. Cutting funding to the IRS. We don't need the middle class getting hit by the tax police. So you defunded the tax police. Yeah, I see what you did. That is just like the left, oversimplifying everything. Right, and President Biden wants to take our stoves. Okay, Drag queens. Ugh, no one needs to see that. Hunter Biden's crotch. Everyone needs to see that. And Santos won't resign because, well, we gotta respect the will of the voters. Because elections are trustworthy? Some of them. Look, you can't just ignore the popular vote. Unless it's Hakeem Jeffries for speaker a dozen times in a row. Only 11 times in a row. Who's bad at counting the votes now?
He is pretty good.
I like that dude because he hits every freaking point. And the funny thing about it is his characters are so good because it's like, I like him. I don't like you. Because it's like he plays it so straight. But yeah, just be prepared for them to move the goalposts. And yeah, I was the first person that went.
Oh, they will.
They found documents in Biden. I hope they investigate to find out what's going on. Oh, you're not calling for investigation?
They
just said.
Yeah, because I need to know why Biden. Look, here's the deal.
And so you do think this is a crime?
Yeah, I
Don't
need
you?
to find out why Trump, a former president, has classified documents in his house, in a closet in the pool house. But okay, that's neither here. No, that's all here and there. But still, why do a former president, to simplify it, because y'all say we simplify things, why do Trump, a former president, have classified documents? Yes. I also want to know why do Biden, a sitting president, has classified information at several homes?
From when he was vice president. But let us not forget the main difference here, that they had been asking Trump and asking Trump and asking him, turn in the damn documents.
They gave you an out, dude.
Biden's team finds this, and at least they...
Biden called it. Biden called them.
I mean, yes, they waited until after the election.
Yeah, waited until after the midterm.
That was sleazy, and you know what? Investigate it. I don't care.
But now you think they're going to shut their mouths because documents were found at Pence's house? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Please do.
A serious question here. And I know I'm a jokey, ha-ha type of person.
Yes, Mike Pence is running for president. Yep, that's what I think.
Idiots will be idiots. My question is this. Why do you take, as president, why do you take classified anything anywhere outside of the freaking White House? Like, I don't understand.
I don't get it either.
Do that. I don't get it. I work in a very secure place. Nowhere in the realm of government documents, and I can't take anything home. Hold up. Nor do I want to. I don't want to read anything outside of the job. So, president, vice president, in December, in November, former, current, I don't care. Why are you taking classified documents? You have a big White House. Trust me, I'm pretty damn sure you can find a private place to read documents. You don't have to take it home and read it out like it's a freaking bedtime story. Leave the documents in the White House, and we will not be holding these conversations.
What about the millions of others that have top secret clearance?
Yep.
It doesn't just happen at the White House. That's...
Leave the documents in where they're supposed to be. I don't want me personally, but apparently I have scruples. I don't want anything blasted back on me saying, why did you take this out of a classified
And you know the answer, both of them, all three of them going to give is a bunch of bull. It's like, I didn't take it for that. You took
I
them
wanted it
documents.
from my library. I wanted it from my book.
Trump can't even read. So what are you talking about?
It need to be made about why there's all these classified documents floating around. Thank you. That's all. That's my only question is, I live in the real world where I have a strange feeling that it'd be my luck. I'm walking around with classified documents and a gust of wind comes and blows it out of my hand, and I'm running down the street like an idiot, and everybody looking at me like, why is he running after that receipt? With me with the only knowledge of going, oh, damn, numbers to the mute. I don't want to take that freaking chance.
I just want to know the first Republican that says that we should investigate Obama and Clinton. I'm just waiting on it.
Dude, if you got to
Thank
go that
you,
far back.
Mickey. Why aren't they better kept track of? I'm like, y'all just taking them?
Really?
Just walking
Yeah.
out the door like,
What is
hey,
y'all doing with them?
Some people need to read before they go to bed. I don't even have an answer to this.
You can't comprehend what you. Let me shut up.
You can't comprehend what you don't understand.
No, I was gonna say something much worse than that, so I'm gonna just shut up.
You have to go to church tomorrow morning.
I know, that's why I'm like, let me shut up. I'm like, not.
Oh well, you can message me. You can message me. I'll say it because I ain't got to go to church tomorrow. I have no problem whatsoever saying it. Look, I have no problem doing stuff like that if you do something stupid. Sorry, but not sorry.
I'm not gonna whisper it to him either. Some things are better left just in my head and not out of my mouth. No, I'm not gonna.
You could type it in the chat.
Or I could not do that and take the higher ground.
Tracy, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at TracyMediaLLC.com, where I have all my videos.
Anna?
Same place, BoreliaEtc.com. Borelia Etc. on YouTube, Instagram, all the places.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. I do thank Tracy Carson. I do take at a heart. And of course, keep our brother Theus Robinson in mind. He'll be back eventually, but he will be back. He'll probably be commenting tomorrow, so be prepared for a whole bunch of random stuff because that's how he is.
We do miss him.
We miss him.
We do.
I'm not used to being under 3 hours of a show, so I'm not used to I'm not used to starting a Saturday show and end on Saturday. So we miss you, Theus. Come back soon. So until next time, we will see you. We will see you. Peace.
Don't y'all know say anything about Ted Cruz? Just
Ted Cruz got papers too.